is enough said.
Happy Taco Tuesday, Heat Nation. Ernest here, Bubble back with another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Would please appreciate it, you guys. Smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe because we got a lot to talk about today. So we're going to rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, because last night was incredible. Now look, I know there's not a lot of rumors. There's not a lot of things going on. The Heat's not linked to trading for any player. But it's like I said in the video yesterday, you guys, the Miami Heat made their move. They just didn't make it this offseason. They made it in the trade deadline. Like Andy Ellsberg recently reported a couple days ago, like I've been saying for weeks now, the move that the Miami Heat made was trading for Terry Rozier. I believe that if the Miami Heat traded for Terry Rozier this offseason, making a move, there probably would have been a parade in Biscayne Boulevard. Has nothing to do about the move that they made. It has to do about when they made it. Because remember, when the Heat made the trade for Terry Rozier during the midseason, Heat fans went crazy. We finally got away from Kyle Lowry's terrible contract. Finally, we're going to win a championship. We got Rozier. Everything was looking good. And then unfortunately, injuries happened. That's the common case of this Miami Heat team. Now the hope is that this upcoming season, you're going to see a healthy roster. Pat Riley, Andy Ellsberg, a lot of the Miami Heat front office feels this way, that with a healthy roster, this team can do some damage. The good news is, the 2025 season, and I've said this before, is a make it or break it year. If the Miami Heat succeed, make it to the NBA Finals or even win an NBA championship, now you can talk an extension with Jimmy Butler to pay him back for that. Now you can look at this team and how to tool around it and continue to move it forward. Or this team falls on their face, has a first to second round exit, and shows you that this build is not it. And now you can tool around Bam Adebayo. Get that star next to Bam Adebayo. Maybe let Jimmy Butler walk in free agency. Who knows? But that's going to be the great thing about this year. It's nut up or shut up time for this Miami Heat team. You want to coast in the regular season? You want to go into the play-in and do it the hard way? Fine. But if you fail, this team will be blown up. So I think this year, this Miami Heat team is going to take it seriously. I think we're going to see a 2022 season, hopefully. Now, that was 3 years ago. Players were younger then. Can the Heat do it again? Only time will tell. But last night was an incredible showing because it's something that we need to keep in mind of, you guys. We're looking at this current build, the Jimmy Butler build, but we have to remember there's going to be a Bam Adebayo build. I don't mean that Bam is going to be the number one guy. I mean that the team is going to be built around Bam. You got to get a player, a number one scoring type of player to put next to Bam for the future. So you're looking at the summer league, you're looking at free agency, you're looking at everywhere and trying to see where you can get the best production. And last night, ladies and gentlemen, we saw some incredible production from some players in the summer league. Now, before I continue, I'm not going to say that any of these players are going to be number one scorers on this team. I'm saying from what we've seen in the past, we've seen what this Miami Heat front office does with undrafted players and lower level drafted players. They turn chicken bleep into chicken salad. And you've seen that so many times. Look at the 2023 run with Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin, Max Strus, and Gabe Vincent. All those guys were undrafted players playing quality minutes for the Miami Heat. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Erik Spoelstra, best coach in the NBA. He gets the most out of his players. And you continue to see this. Now, Summer League last night was an incredible showing. I did a short on it yesterday, but I want to talk about it in detail. Miami Heat dominate the OKC Thunder 102-73. Balls to the walls. You got Jaime Jaquez playing his final game of Summer League. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a plus 26 out there. This is basically a guy that plays varsity. This is a guy who plays for national level college who basically goes to a middle school and plays against them. So you dominate out there, of course. I mean, for people that think that Jaime Jaquez Jr. could possibly get injured doing this, he's a hooper. All of these guys play basketball in the off season. you always run a chance of getting hurt, and especially when you're with the Miami Heat team. I mean, the injury bug just follows you. So yeah, I mean, didn't get injured. That's a good one. You get 11 points from Kel'el Ware, 12 rebounds, 2 block shots, 5 for 12 from the field. You want to see a little bit better production from Ware, especially when he's in Summer League. He should be dominating every game, but double-double's fine. Keshad Johnson, 11 points, 7 rebounds. Keshad Johnson is showing you guys that he's probably going to get a contract. You got our second round pick, Pelle Larsson, 9 points, solid defensive showing. Zion Poland gives you 6 points. But the player of the game, we all have seen this. Josh Christopher. Josh Christopher with back-to-back 20-point games in the Las Vegas Summer League showing. He's doing it big. In the NBA 2K25 Summer League, if the Miami Heat don't offer Josh Christopher a contract, he's going to get it somewhere else. My man gives you 23 points last night, 8 for 11 from the field. He scores 20 points in the fourth quarter, hits 6 3-point shots in the fourth quarter. Solid defense, solid offense, can put the ball in the basket. He just screams Miami Heat culture. And a lot of these guys on this team, you guys, and I get that it's Summer League, but a lot of these guys are showing that they have the capability of giving this Miami Heat team what they need during the season. Around December and January, when players are going to be hampered with injury, but it's kind of like the 2022 season when I mentioned. Jimmy and Bam both went down that year. And Caleb Martin, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, all these guys stepped up. So what you need to do is surround Jimmy and Bam with quality role players that are going to step up when their names are called upon. And that's what we see here with this Miami Heat team all the time. I'm loving Zion Poland. I'm loving Pelle Larsson, Keshad Johnson, Isaiah Stevens. That's another guy. Isaiah Stevens comes off the bench, 9 points, 7 assists. The previous game, he gives you a double-double. It was 9 points and 11 assists. Isaiah Stevens is a guy that you need to keep your eye on, because there's one thing this Miami Heat team, in my opinion, is missing, and that is a floor general point guard. So you need to keep your eyes on Isaiah Stevens. Now, Josh Christopher, said something interesting on the post game after the Heat won, and I'll read this quote. They asked him, what does he feel he can bring to this Miami Heat team? And he says, I quote, whatever they ask of me. Really just guard and play defense. I've been putting the ball in the basketball all my life. They haven't asked me to do that yet. Josh Christopher is not a rookie. He was drafted in 2021 by the Houston Rockets, picked 24th. He was a first-round pick. So this is a guy who's playing for his life. And I don't understand why the Miami Heat has a roster spot filled by Drew Smith. I get it. The Miami Heat, they're showing, love. They're showing support. They're bringing certain guys back because they're showing the commitment to these players. I understand Drew Smith has, a good tenacity in defense. He shows a lot of hustle. Thank God it was a two-way deal. But that dude's going to lose his spot to one of these guys. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to get rid of Drew Smith because he's not playing. He's not in the Summer League. I think that spot that Drew Smith has, that two-way contract, needs to go to Josh Christopher or Isaiah Stevens. The Miami Heat need to keep an eye on that, because if you lose one of these guys to another team, that's going to bum me out. And Josh Christopher, you guys, when I see a player like this, a former first-round draft pick who's playing to fight, that's a guy that you want on your team. The Miami Heat, this is a similar story last year with Alondes Williams. Some of these guys, and Alondes Williams is doing great in Summer League. I mean, yesterday, he gives you 5 points, but he also gives you 5 assists in 14 minutes. But you know what? Alondes Williams, in my opinion, had his opportunity last year, and he didn't really show that he was something different. When you're given when you're a two-way player and you're given an opportunity to go out there for 10 to 15 minutes, you got to kind of do what guys like Max Strus and Caleb Martin did. You got to show out. So I think if the Miami Heat gives Josh Christopher an opportunity, let's not forget about Keshad Johnson. That's another guy that definitely needs a contract on this team. You're having a lot of players in Summer League step up. And there's certain players in this team I feel don't need to be on this team. Drew Smith, maybe even Thomas Bryant. The great thing about signing a Thomas Bryant, I'm not sure if you guys knew this, when the Heat re-signed him, he lifted his trade kicker, which means the Miami Heat can trade him. So it's possible the Miami Heat brought some of these guys back for a potential deal in the trade. I don't know, but I'm telling y'all right now, there's no way that Drew Smith should be on a two-way contract ahead of Isaiah Stevens, Keshad Johnson, or Josh Christopher. No way. And I'm loving how this Miami Heat team keeps doing it. They keep turning chicken bleep into chicken salad. They're finding gems. They're showing them the Miami Heat way. And it also shows you guys that it's just not Coach Spoelstra. It's all the coaching staff for this Miami Heat team. And that's a godsend. So Heat fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Josh Christopher? What do you think about Isaiah Stevens? What do you think about Keshad Johnson? Who do you think deserves a contract on this team? And do you think we should release certain players to open some spots for these players? I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments, you guys. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel as we push for 5,000 subscribers. Appreciate y'all's support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Yeah, buddy.